Hello Pisces, here's a reading for you for the time beginning today. On the day of a total solar eclipse, which is the 21st of August 2017. And these energies that are emerging or has emerged already may play out in next several weeks or even months, up to 6 months they say. Others say up to 18 years, so there are different points of view, but I think a few months is reasonable timeline for this. Okay, so let's look. Here are your cards. They are already shuffled. One more thing, I recommend you to watch an introductory video that I posted. It's in the header of the channel, and I also put the link in the description box, so check this out. Okay, I'm gonna cut the deck now. Please guide me for Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising. The heptapod spread that I invented myself after I watched The Arrival, which is a wonderful film. If you like science fiction, or rather whether you like science fiction or not, it's a wonderful film. Watch it if you didn't. Okay, so 8 cards. Now let's look at the background energy for this time. You have 7 of Swords. So the moon in Aquarius. This is a tricky energy because you know, this card is notorious. People say it's connected with theft, trying to get out with something without taking responsibility, or it talks about treason, treating someone unfaithfully. But this card is also about wit, about taking only things you need to take, about leaving unneeded things behind. And it's something about wise decision. And when I see this card, I always say check your intentions. If your intentions are pure, proceed with whatever you're doing, no matter what people say, because people don't and will never fully understand your point of view and your intentions. They never will. And you shouldn't expect it. So decide, but take your intentions into consideration. If you have any difficulties recognizing your intentions, this is a clear indication that something's wrong and maybe you should rethink it. When I look at this card, I see someone who's acting in a wise way, because as you can see, the wind is blowing very hard, and she's hiding behind a tree. But it just so occurred that a little more than a week ago, in my region, there was a terrible storm. It's called derecho from Spanish. It's a very, very serious storm, and it destroyed forests here where I live, and a few people were killed by falling trees. So when I see this person holding to this tree, believing that this will save her from the wind, I know it's dubious. It may be effective, but can be very tricky. Because if the wind is very strong, this is not a shelter. This is a trap. You need to go to the open field, or you need to go to the very young forest, not to be killed by the tree. So careful with that. Always check the background, always check your intentions, and always check the strength of the wind you're standing against. Because this is non-conformistic card, very often. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, where are you now? You're in the world position. So ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, indicated here by the old tree and the young one, by the old lady and the young lad. This is the card of Saturn. Saturn is a very tough teacher, but when you accomplish your lesson, you can be really proud of yourself because you learned something and you ended something successfully. This card indicates you ended something successfully. A large cycle ended for you, and it doesn't have to be repeated because you learned your lesson, which is great. This may also indicate traveling for some of you. What's above you? Quite literally, the force, the energy coming from above on you. It's the Four of Chalices, which is the card of boredom and stability. In this case, emotional stability. Emotions are not something that likes the stagnation. This is stagnation, like the water. Water doesn't like to be closed in some restricted pool. It likes to flow. This is the nature of water, to flow. So here, the nature of water is compromised in a way. Four of Chalices. So maybe, as you can see here, that the outer influence is that you're missing something. Something is going round. Something's going on around her, and she's not able to see it because she's asleep. In other words, something may be offered to you and you may not recognize it and you may not want it. You may not be interested because you don't see the nature of it. You don't see the true worth in it. Perhaps you think this doesn't fit into your situation. Perhaps you think it's not the time. Perhaps you're so busy dreaming or doing something else that you're not able to see things going on around you. Anyway, there may be a missed opportunity. There may be emotional boredom, stagnation, frustration even. Let's look where you're coming from, or what's going to the past, what's passing. The Six of Chalices, a harmonious energy. So the harmony is passing and the stagnation is coming in. It's not very good, but perhaps this is the nature of this state of the world when you accomplish something and you know you're at the end of the cycle, you know that something is ending and there is a pause. It is possible to have a pause in such a place, in such a time. Okay? But usually when we see Six of Chalices, people say the past. So the past is going to the past. No, I think it's about emotional stability, emotional harmony, living a very fulfilling life emotionally. Because this is about it. This is about being able to enjoy little things in life. To enjoy every day with flowers, with building little hills out of rock, with being very much in you, in the moment, in your body, feeling harmoniously. Now you're out of it because you're summing something up. You gather experience. You need to, think it through, and you're very much focused on this big ending. Okay? Now, we're coming to the difficult part of the reading, which is your weakness or your challenge. The Ten of Wands, it's appearing in almost every reading, so definitely the end of the cycle. And Ten of Wands for me is a card about experience and what we do with it. And so far, this spread indicates that you may have difficulties with taking what's most important from your experiences and intertwining it into the fabric of your life. I think that's the matter. I think that's the difficulty here. You're no longer able to drag it, because there are too many experiences. 10 of Wands, it's very heavy burden. You may feel overwhelmed. That's why, and you don't need to, because this is the world. This is the ending of a cycle. You don't need to drag this. But for some reason, this summing up is difficult, I feel. This, taking out the essence of the spectrum of experiences you had is difficult for you. You're struggling to do it. Perhaps you're even tired of doing it. You don't have the clue. You don't know how to do it effectively. It seems you learned your lesson, but it seems you don't know what the lesson was, or what to do with it further. Like, you're a little lost here. What's the gain? What was it for? This feeling. I'm really done with this, says Pisces. I really want to end it. But what to gain from it? What to take from it? What's the worth of it? I'm not able to see it. I see only lost things. What have I gained? You seem unable to see it, or you have difficulties in, taking this essence out of this. What's the answer to this weakness? How to cope with it? By 7 of Wands, and this is another card that's reappearing very often. 7 of Wands, a fire energy. Standing your ground. And it often comes in pair with 10 of Wands. Like, are you aware that you have a privileged position here? Because you have it. 7 of Wands is always about a person who is higher than the opponents. Here you can see a family ready to defend their ground. So you're not alone here. There's a dog, there are puppies, there's a barn, there's field of wheat here. Something is planted, something is gathered. And this guy has a wand. Don't come any closer. This is the boundary. There's the boundary here. Don't come any closer. This is my ground. I won't let you in. I won't let you do any harm. I know what I'm defending. So when I look at this, perhaps the worth of this experience, it's not easy, but there is something you gained by perseverance. There is something you learned about yourself in the process of fighting, in the process of persevering, in the process of just living every day the way it was. And you need to recognize it. You need to recognize that although it might have been very demanding on everyday basis, it might have been. And you may be very tired with this. But when you look from above, there is an added value here that you need to defend. Perhaps when someone wants to take it from you, then you will realize, that's how I feel it, that only when this lesson is put into danger by someone wanting to taking things that belong to you, that you acquired, perhaps only then you wake up from your dream and you defend it, and then you know, wow, this is it. Yeah, I have it. I haven't realized I had so many things. I hadn't realized the worth of it. But now I know because I defend it. Okay? That's how I feel it. Now your strength. It's the Knight of Swords, so very decisive and powerful energy of action. We have fire, we have water, now we have air. We also had air here. So Knight of Swords is a crusader card for me. This is someone very convinced. So suddenly you're very convinced, suddenly you're very sure of your priorities and you know what to do perfectly. You know before thinking. This is the card of Knight of Swords, which is very often doing before thinking. Although this is the swords card, so mind. But this knight acts immediately and is very powerful. This is sometimes even a dangerous card. So your strength is that even if you're tired here, even if you're not focused or focused on something else, when someone endangers what you acquired, you will wake up and you will be very forceful and you will be very dangerous. You will come with a great force and fire, I feel. Force and fire and as I said, being decisive. I won't let you harm me. I won't let you harm my family. I won't let you put what I achieved in danger, because this is too important for me. And perhaps I wasn't able to see it first, but now I am. Now when it's endangered, I am. I am here. I'm standing on my guard. So you're on your guard. You may be sleeping, but you will wake up in times of trouble. Now this card, personally for me, this is the most important card of the spread because it talks about where to focus, where to put your focus on, where to put your energy in, what to do, what is the path to proceed, what's the best direction to go. And you have Page of Pentacles. It's returning. Almost every sign had it. Here or here or here. And Page of Pentacles, its message is quite simple. Be very grounded. Be very grounded, Pisces. I know it's not an easy thing for you. You're often a daydreamer and a visionary. But this card asks you to feel the ground beneath your feet. You might ground yourself on an everyday basis, walking bare feet, especially now when it's still summer. Use it. Walk on grass, walk on ground, walk on sand. Ground yourself. So the Page of Pentacles, a youthful, optimistic and nice energy. The energy of new beginnings, but very, very grounded. This is pure earth. So she knows who she is. She knows her worth. She knows the worth of things around her and people around her. She knows where she's standing. She knows what she's doing. And she enjoys it. Briefly. Look at her. How happy she is with what she has. So indulge yourself in what you achieved. Feel it with your body. Feel it on a material niveau. Because perhaps this is the way to ground it. This is the way to understand what you actually achieved here. By your body, through your carnal experience. Page of Pentacles. Okay. And the last card that I don't want to call the outcome, I'd rather call it a vista, a look into the future, how this energy may evolve, what can emerge from it, what can arise. But that's not set in stone, it's not your destiny, you have a free will, you can change it. But perhaps there is something that needs to be underlined, something that has to be put in a spotlight, and that's why it appears here. Perhaps it's difficult. Perhaps it's something you wouldn't notice otherwise. You wouldn't accept otherwise. So open to it. Yeah, just open to it. Open to it and take it. And do whatever you want to do with it. Two of Wands, planning. Usually this person has the world at the palm of his or her hand. Here he has the sun, which is very much about today's events. The sun, eclipse. But when you look at this, you began something, and now you want to project yourself into the future by a very specific path. So you're, like I said, a vista. You want to know your way. You want to plan your way. You want to know exactly how to go where you want to go. So you're taking a very long look for what's in front of you, into the future, into the vast space in front of you. How do I want to go? I know where, but how do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? Who am I going to take with me? What am I going to take? So planning another cycle begins now. And if you're grounded, you won't have this feeling of time wasted and energy wasted like here. You won't. You will know that it was worthy. Taking this lesson really gave you something. Just be grounded and look optimistically into the future, because the world is yours with this card. And as I said, check your intentions. This is important here. All right, Pisces, I wish you all the best. I wish you use this time best way possible. Thank you for your time, and see you next time.